In this tutorial, we're going to go through how to tell a story using data, and we're going to tell a story about the English Premier League 2016-17 season. So your teacher will let you know where this data is. Basically, it's all the data of all the teams from the 2016-2017 English Premier League. So before we start, it's good to just know, just in case you're not aware, Chelsea won, and Hull City, Middlesbrough, and Sunderland were relegated. So what we need to do is we need to copy this data. So we do that by selecting all the data, and then you press Control C on your keyboard to copy. And then we're going to go to this website called rawgraphs.io. So rawgraphs allows you to create graph visualizations of your data and to help you tell a story. So the story's kind of there for you, the fact that Chelsea won the league and these other three teams were relegated. But there's certain aspects within that that you're going to pull out and explain, and we'll demonstrate that now. So once you've copied your data from the Excel spreadsheet, you're going to paste it into this box here. Now it kind of shows up as a tab delimited. If you click on this icon here, it shows you that this is exactly what you just copied from your Excel spreadsheet. So once the data's pasted in there, we can scroll down and we can choose the kind of graphs. Now, there's some different graphs than usual than you're used to seeing. Um, you can try a few of these, scatter plot and bar chart and particularly pie chart. They're good ones to return to. We're going to try something different. We're going to try convex hull. Each one of these, as you click on it, tells you a brief explanation of what that particular graph does. So once you've selected your graph type, you scroll down again, and this now allows you to map your data to dimensions. So now all of these are the available data points that you have, and these are the things you're going to drag into these areas where you're going to create the graph. So first things are we're going to add points, and we're then going to go to goal difference. So as you see, next to each name of these, it tells you what type of data it is. So string means words, and number obviously is just numbers. So we're going to label these as well. The team name is generally always going to go in the label. And then once you've done, basically, once you've filled everything with a green star, green asterisk, it means that your graph is ready to go. So at the very least, those two would need to be filled. Each of these are then optional. So once that's done, you can then scroll down to see the graph that's generated. Okay, so this tells a story, as in, so the x-axis are the points throughout the season, and the y-axis is the goal difference. So what we can see here is we know that Chelsea won the league. However, Tottenham had the greater goal difference. They scored more goals and they had less goals scored against them, but that did not win them the league. It, Chelsea still won the league regardless. And the same can be said down here. Now, obviously, Sunderland was well out of the picture. They had no hope. But if you look, Watford actually had more goals scored against them in comparison to Middlesbrough, but Middlesbrough still went down. So they won. They lost more games. Anyway, so these are the kind of things you're going to pull out and discuss and demonstrate using your graph. So once you've created your graph, you need to then download it. So you need to scroll down again, and you're going to choose an image PNG. That's portable network graphic. That's a web standard, and this is going to be goal difference graph, and then we click download. So if you're on a Chromebook, that downloads here, and that's in the notifications, tells you that it's downloaded. If you're on a PC, that will appear down here. So now we need to create a presentation. So Okay, so we're using PowerPoint Online in Office 365. One thing you need to be aware of when you're choosing your template, you must choose a template with a light coloured background. You can't choose one with a dark coloured background because the PNG files that you're going to be using are a, um, a transparent image file. So it means it's see-through and most of the text in the graphs are black. Therefore, when you put it on a dark background, you can't actually see it. So we're going to the very first thing you do when you create any kind of Office online document, whether it's Word, PowerPoint, Excel, you must name it. So the very first thing is up here, um, EPL story 2016 17. Okay, and we're going to then name this English Premier League 2016 17. Okay, so we're going to add a new slide, and this is going to be title and content. So we add that slide, and so we want to add a picture, and that's this one here. So we click on this, and whether you're on a Chromebook or a PC, generally the options here, they will have a downloads option, and it will be the file you just downloaded in your downloads option. Okay, so we've imported this graph. You can stretch this out. And so you need to title your slide. Now, uh, so goal difference is not an indicator of the overall winner. Now, sometimes your graphs will need a little bit more explanation than that, and you can go into a little bit of detail. And so you would go to insert and you add a text box, and then go into a little bit more detail about, well, why is that so? Chelsea had won more games, etc. So that's the basics of it. Now, if you go back to raw, you won't have to go through the whole process of importing the data again because it's already there. You just need to choose a different graph, maybe a pie chart, and then you can go through and actually go, okay, I'm gonna change this around. Now, what you can do is, particularly with any graph that has this little icon here, it means you can add multiple data points to it. So if I do won, drawn, and lost, and then scroll down, you can see that there we have more details about that. We can change that into a donut chart. Now the thing is with this, and this is an issue with raw graphs, is it doesn't describe what each one of these are. So you would have to identify each one. So as we can see, the green is drawn, the lost is blue, and the red is won, but they don't list that on the graph itself. So that's something you would need to add in PowerPoint just to explain what's going on here, to explain what you're trying to show. Okay, so your teacher will now let you know where this data is, and you'll pull out as many different aspects of this data as you can.